Sips and Dad Tips, episode 6. We are talking today about, can dads be gamers in 2025? I don't think you can answer this question in one word. You can't say yes and you can't say no. It's kind of a little bit in the middle. There's a lot of variables for each person, and I'll kind of go into a few of the things, but this will be speaking from my experience and what I think, my point of view, and to celebrate the fact that we are talking about gaming and parenthood. I think it's only fitting we have like a sugar-free energy drink. This is kind of like the gamer drink of choice, like a Red Bull, right? Where you just want that hit of energy before gaming. And also as a parent, sometimes you just need something. So today we were talking about, can dads be gamers in 2025? So I think that depends a lot on a lot of things. So from my experience, this is the journey that I've gone through, because gaming has been a part of my life since I can remember. As a kid, at 4 or 5 years old, I remember playing on a Nintendo or an Atari. I can't remember what it was exactly. And pretty much going through my whole childhood, teenage years and 20s, into my 30s, being a gamer. Variety of games, mainly casual. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be professional in any game I've ever played ever, but for the most part, it's been my me time, my unwinding time, and a way to blow off steam, I guess. So I like to think I'm pretty balanced when it comes to, especially as a teen and growing up, living with my parents. They complained that I gamed a lot, but looking back on it, I did spend a lot of time outside. I probably spent more time outside than gaming, playing sports and just practicing things, as well as studies. That didn't slip because I was gaming. So I feel like I've managed to find a balance on all those things, which I think is important, because gaming can be something that really takes you away from your problems and from life. So you can get lost in doing it for hours at a time, hours and hours. You could waste a whole day. I could waste a whole day. And I say waste, are we wasting our time if we're doing something we enjoy? People will watch TV, people will watch movies and sit on the couch and just watch a screen and say that is normal, and sitting at a desk or on your couch again, holding a controller, controlling a game, that is kind of like a childish thing, or it's a waste of time. But if anything, it keeps you more busy than just sitting and watching TV, which is what a lot of people get in the routine of doing as they get older. Like, they don't go out as much. You get family, you get kids, and you spend more time at home. And more power to you if that's not you and that's not how you unwind. This is what I know. And so when I got married, wifey probably didn't realize how much of a gamer I was, because I didn't. It wouldn't be like I'd be spending a lot of time gaming in front of her, or even saying, when we weren't together on a certain night that I'd be gaming or whatever. It wouldn't be that much of a big deal. So when we got married, you find a balance, right? Because you still want time to yourself, but you do want to spend a lot of time with your partner. You want to spend as much time as possible. Sometimes you just need that hour or two alone just to decompress from the day, or do whatever. And that doesn't change when you have kids, in my opinion. You still need that time. What I went through when kids came around, balancing gaming, I pretty much got rid of it. I didn't game for a long time, a year or two, I think. And when I did, I was overcome with guilt for trying to take time to myself when there was wifey with the kid, or, wifey's trying to rest, kids trying to rest. I should be resting too. Our first kid was very tough on us in terms of their sleep. So me trying to give wifey as much time off when I got home from work, because she would be at home all day trying to soothe a kid who wouldn't really nap that well or feed that great. And then me coming home and trying to give her a chop out and trying to take over that. It was hard to find a balance to do anything else, really. So I see some people who have kids and they're straight back into whatever they were doing, and I look at that as amazement, because that's just not what I know. So if I feel like that might not be the right thing to do, it's just from how I've experienced the first kid. It was rough and all-consuming. And when it came to gaming, like I said, I took some time off, took a year off. We had another kid straight away again. So again, we kept extra busy. So for me, gaming wasn't the important thing to worry about at that time. So I think, yes, if you can balance all that, great. But if you can't, I don't think you should be taking that much time away from your family to be doing things like gaming. Yes, you can unwind that way. I would say there are different ways you can unwind. And I suppose, what are you doing when you're gaming? Are you, headphones on, locked into your screen, ignoring the world and everything around you? Are you unable to be reached? Can you communicate with somebody else while you're gaming? And that's hard to do. And the reason I say that is because, even if going and playing, one of my favorite games to play is Call of Duty. And we go play online Call of Duty. And every time you get matched up with somebody else who has a microphone, they've either got a smoke alarm that's going off or a kid in the background. And I always feel bad for the kid who is clearly trying to talk to their dad, who is too busy trying to game. And I know I've made a jump there from, a newborn and an infant, and now jumping to when kids are a little bit older and they're up and they want to play with you all the time, or they're trying to get your attention. But even like you could hear like a baby crying in the background of someone's microphone. It's like, and they're busy sounding like they're stoned and playing games and whatever. That doesn't sit right with me. And I don't think that's the way to go about it, to be honest. I think your priority should always be your kid who's either in distress, needs attention, or is looking to play with you. I think that is the priority. I think, yes, you need your unwinding time, but you also, that comes secondary, I think, most of the time when your kids are around and awake. I think different story. You put them to bed, you can have a plan to say, wifey, tonight, I'm just going to spend an hour or two gaming before bed, and you just want to be alone. And I think that's fine. I think that's healthy. As long as you're not ignoring each other the whole time, the whole week, you can schedule in some time to yourself to do fun things like that. But let's again back to that. You're playing Call of Duty and you can hear people in the background. The babies are crying. It's like, what are you doing that is, you potentially, all right, their partner has said to them, you go do this. Don't worry about the baby's screaming. But I just can't imagine, maybe because of the absolute guilt I would feel being able to play a game whilst I knew my kid was crying in the other room. And even if wife is taking care of it, I would feel so guilty that she is going through that on her own. And even just, I would feel the need to just be in the same room if I'm not actively trying to help. Just being there would be enough to make that guilt not a thing. But again, I'm not trying to judge anyone else and what they do. So this is just my thoughts and my experiences and the way I see things. So the reason I think I took so long off gaming was because I couldn't find that balance and I couldn't shake the feeling of guilt. And even the time that I would, when I eventually did go back into having hobbies and gaming and things like that, gaming in particular, I would only really do it if the kids are asleep. The kids are in bed, the day is done, and I have an hour or two of quiet time. If my kids are awake, I feel like my attention should be on them. Even if they're not playing with me, just to be around the house and be around and be present, I think is the word I'm looking for. I feel bad for the kid asking to play and the dad is too busy doing something like that. I don't think that's a good look. And I think kids remember that kind of thing, whether consciously or unconsciously. When they're older, they will probably remember that, and that could be behavior that gets repeated. And for me, I would feel terrible if that is the case. So even so, as well, if again people don't know, my kids are 7 and 6 years old. 7 and 8. Just had a couple of birthdays, and they are, first of all, staying up later, but also when they are awake now, are less and less wanting to do something with me 24/7. So they're playing with each other. They'll be playing either with friends. We give them some screen time now, so they play games with their friends online, I guess, kind of like a Roblox thing, which is 10 years earlier than what I did when I was a kid, but it is supervised a lot of the time. We know what they're doing. We can see their voice calls and things like that. We can monitor if we need to, but we can hear them the whole time. They're in the same room as us. So I potentially have more time to do things, and I do take advantage of it. Weekends in the mornings, I will stream and game for a couple of hours, and I would be lying if I said I did not feel any guilt doing so and taking the time to try and do something I enjoy and something for me. But the longer it's gone, the more conversations with wifey to reassure me and to make sure that she gets everything that she needs. We find a balance that it's not all the time. It's maybe once a week, and it's okay. It's okay to do that. And obviously, if there's kids basketball games to take them to, I'm there. If there is other sport things or other activities I need to do, there's parties or important days to attend, I'm there. And I think, yes, you can be a dad gamer in 2025, but I think whatever year it is, it doesn't matter that it's 2025. I'm just trying to make it modern. But the kids have to be, and wife have to be, priority. There's no other top priority you should be worrying about other than them. And if they're taken care of, then I think you can take care of yourself a bit more with gaming. Just because it can take so much attention. So it's not like, you'll go to the gym for an hour, come back and you're back, or you do a little workout at home. You can multitask. There's other things you can do. But I think when you're gaming, it's that old meme where it's like mummy's asking you to pause the game and you're playing online and it's just not possible. And she doesn't understand. If you're playing something you can pause, that's great. But I think if you're playing online and you can't, you're really trying to focus on it, I would say it's just try something else and try and find the balance, man, because I think if you're a dad, yes, gaming is one of the most fun things you can do. If you love it, you love it. I understand, but I think for most of the time you have to put it to the side. I think there are other priorities to worry about. But again, like I said, there are so many variables for each person, each family, what kind of balance you have. It's not up to me to say. So if you're feeling judged, I apologize. But this is my experience. That's my point of view. If you do want to get involved in the conversation, please get involved. Leave a comment down below. I read every single one. DM me on any social media. Links are in the description, as well as a Google form if you would like to fill that out. You can get in contact that way. You can email me directly. Let me know some talking points. Let me know if you disagree, if you hate what I just said, if you love what I just said, if you have anything to add or any topics you would like to see discussed on the podcast. I'm all ears. I'd love to get involved and be a resource, get everyone involved. Maybe we can start talking to other dads. Maybe we can interview each other and just have a little chat about something. So that's it for Sips and Dad Tips, episode 6. My name is Mingus, and I will catch you guys next week.